Yo, what's up everyone? Welcome to Small World and thanks for joining me with today's video. In this episode, I'm going to show you how to make miniature drink bottles. These are perfect details for your dioramas and dollhouses, not to mention that they're also super fun to make. First, let me show you one of the 3D models that I made. I just found a picture on the internet of the bottle that I needed, I scaled the image to the right size, and modeled it based off of that. I'm building in 1/24 scale by the way, so most of my bottles won't be taller than 3/8 of an inch. Next, I duplicate the bottles a few times and raise them up on a base. This way, I have something to hold on to when I'm painting and adding labels to the bottles. This will probably make more sense later on. All of the bottles that you see in this video will be available for download on my Patreon. I'll put the link in the description below. I'm 3D printing these bottles with Elegoo's translucent resin. This resin cures a bit softer. As you can see, it's very flexible and rubbery, but this isn't a problem for me. And my favorite part about it is that it doesn't yellow, which is an issue that I've had with some other clear resins in the past. These are some of the bottles after printing and cleaning with isopropyl alcohol, but I haven't post-cured these under a UV lamp, and I don't plan to. First, I'll show you how to make a bottle that's supposed to be clear, like a water bottle for example. I spray them with a light coat of Mr. Hobby's UV Cut Super Gloss Clear. This will protect them against UV exposure and will keep them from yellowing down the line. Another thing this does, and more importantly, it helps to make the bottles look crystal clear. Check out this before and after. The one on the left is before the clear coat, and you can see that while it's transparent, it's slightly cloudy and it could look better. The one on the right is much more clear and glossy looking. Some of you may be wondering how to make bottles that have a colorful finish. I changed the color of my bottles using Tamiya clear paints in a variety of different colors. Some colors you can use right out of the bottle, just thin down a bit to make it easier to spray. These blue Bonaqua bottles are a good example of that. I just used Tamiya's clear blue, thinned down with Mr. Color Leveling Thinner. The blue is supposed to represent the blue tinted plastic of the bottle, rather than a dyed blue drink. With this in mind, I make sure not to go too heavy with my application. Some colors have to be mixed, and I found that a good tea or cola color is a mix between Tamiya Smoke and Clear Orange. I like to spray the mixture pretty thin and build up the color over multiple light coats. Here's the finished color for the tea bottles. If you don't have an airbrush by the way, then you're in luck. I did a test piece using a paintbrush, and it surprisingly turned out really good. Once all the paint is dry, they're ready for adding some labels. I just print the labels on ordinary printer paper. If you have a nice printer, you can get away with doing this at home. Another alternative is to go to a print shop and get it done there. I made these graphics in Adobe Illustrator, and I scaled them to the size I needed. These are super tiny and hardly legible in 1/24 scale, but they do the trick. Luckily, if you're making dollhouses and work in 1/12 scale, it should be much easier to achieve a legible label. Labeling is very straightforward. The first step is to cut out all of your labels. I use a metal ruler and an X-Acto blade. For gluing the labels to the bottles, I apply some gloss Mod Podge to the bottles and wrap the label around them. It may take a couple tries to get the hang of it, but it's easy enough. Now you can see why I printed a base for multiple bottles. The base is nice to hold on to, and it would be almost impossible to hold an individual bottle and wrap the label at the same time. Once the bottles are labeled, I use a variety of acrylic paints to paint the bottle caps. Next, I snip the support connecting the bottle to the base and trim the excess. The only thing to keep in mind here is to make sure you're consistently cutting at the same point. You don't want your bottles at different heights after all. And now the bottles are done. If you want to keep the bottles loose and display them individually, you can do just that. Or you can cut out a sheet of plastic, add some price tags, and make miniature shelves. These are temporarily held in place with double-sided tape at the moment, which is why some may look a little crooked. I've been displaying my bottles based off a reference photo. The bottles in the store were just stacked on top of each other in clear plastic trays. Well anyways, I hope that you found this video useful, and I hope that you apply these techniques to your own projects. If you like this video, please do me a favor by dropping a like and subscribing to my channel. Also, a huge thank you to my new patrons. If you'd like to join them and support me on Patreon, I'll be offering the 3D models and labels for all of the bottles that you see in this video. I post all of my 3D files from all of my videos there, so you can download and print these on your own printer. I also post process pictures of my work between videos, offer early access videos, Q&A videos, and much more. Again, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video. Also, here are some bloopers. Check out this before and after. The one on the left is the... This will protect them against the UV exposure and will help keep them from yellowing down the line. Whoa.